Odisha is one of the most richly endowed among the states of India. Sadly, it is also the state with the highest percentage of its people living below the line of poverty. Odisha's below-par performance is characterized by political marginalization of the tribal communities, whose percentage of the state population is the second highest in India. Alienation of tribal communities from forests, which are controlled by the state, and the consequent deprivation of natural resources on which the tribal livelihood is dependent. Lack of confidence, education and initiative among tribals and other deprived sections of population. In the midst of this dismal scene, we also have a few smiling faces. Far from the urban crowds, accessible only on foot, we have this lush, prosperous and captivating hamlet of Ipaguda in Gajapati district. Tribals here are a happy lot. They have harnessed the water and land resources intelligently. They have harvested a good crop, and they are celebrating their success. So, what has gone right for them? It is the essence of the Indo-Swiss NRM program Odisha story. Indo-Swiss NRM program Odisha, or ISNRMPO, started way back in 1991 in the undivided Ganjam district as a bilateral program between the government of Switzerland and the government of India. Implemented by inter-cooperation and funded by SDC, the project is in the 5th phase of implementation. The program has 2 thrust areas. While the Livestock Service Delivery, or LSD Trust, works with Government Animal Husbandry Department at policy level, the Livelihood and Community Organization, or LCO Trust, works with 8 NGO partners, namely Ishara, Sakal, JKP, SWWS, CCD, Prava, IWD, and Lipika, with 30,000 indigenous families in Ganjam and Gajapati districts of southwest Odisha. The main focus of the LCO is the community empowerment and their livelihood improvement. Let us hear it in the words of Ms. Jabita Roito, a community leader of the hamlet.
Danir subida gamna sendin son karanji sitina tilaen opisoram pangle tilelenji bindo angat tu tanki gedulu nami urla kenel nasab jala serung tanki ting.
It is a story of tribal community empowerment. Many activities have been executed by the tribal community on soil and water conservation. Irrigation channels have been laid from perennial sources directly leading to fields, raising cropped area in the once fallow lands. The water thus generated in these projects greatly helped in irrigated agriculture, floriculture and horticulture. This yielded the surplus produce which was marketed by the community members in the weekly market. The community has also developed unique gravity flow system to harness spring water for drinking purpose. community has developed its own system for monitoring and maintenance of their assets. They have also introduced user fees for all the members for operation and maintenance of these assets.
पानी बंद रहिबो पानी बेसी पानी अछि एबे मांडिया रहिबो आउ एटा मरच लंका बोले मरच आउ एटा रहिबो बायना टमाटो ए पानी रे सब रुआ हेबो.
The community has also promoted conservation of water resources, thereby protecting the environment. Participatory technology development process is undertaken to empower the farming community in developing their own technology with the support and facilitation of outsiders like the government, research institutes, scientists and project staff. The farmers have increased the yield of paddy, maize and millets 3 to 4-fold in 2 years of PTD experimentation. It not only addresses the food security of the tribal masses, but also ensures optimum use of the community's natural resources and better income all around. Self-help groups are the starting points of development, as well as instruments of delivery of service to the lowest rungs of the society. Bull calf rearing is an excellent example where the self-help group finances the members to buy their own calves, raise them on fodder available locally and sell them for a profit when they grow up. Goat and poultry rearing are other examples of income generation through small livestock development.
Sering kan gorjang ganiti po gamle gami te sering ija ganan kana umpu gamle ahop bling lai asar kana umpu abing ganai ba.
The Community Link Workers or CLW concept is promoted here, where the community selects the workers who are trained by the Animal Husbandry Department. These CLWs provide services on animal health care by taking nominal charges from the community. Vermicomposting is a good example of recycling farm wastes for profit by the members of self-help group. The vermicompost enjoys excellent demand as organically grown food has started commanding a premium among health-conscious people.
Through that vermicompost unit, they could earn 20,000 rupees by the sales of worms and as well as vermicompost. This is the one of the good success by the tribal women towards the sustainable agriculture practices.
Another important income generation activity is value addition through processing of food items. Members of the self-help group process the produce to make pickles, fruit juices, tamarind extract, etc. Self-help groups of Ganjam and Gajapati are increasing the reach and range of their work. The value-added products are marketed through the Federation of Self-Help Groups like the Gajapati Women's Self-Help Cooperative Limited in urban and semi-urban areas. This development has been widely welcomed and appreciated. The whole process started with the premise that local development is best left to local people. Local people best know their needs. Self-help both conserves resources and inculcates a culture of asset maintenance. Therefore, local self-governance always had a primacy of purpose. This is not erecting an alternative vehicle of development, but co-opting an existing institution like Panchayati Raj as a vehicle of development. Local self-governance is incomplete without gender balance. The task of NGOs and their field staff in such a sensitive subject defies description. Gender modular training for the field staff of NGOs is an absolutely essential requirement for gender sensitization in the execution of all work. Field staff of NGOs hold training camps for members of Village Development Committee and self-help groups on gender sensitization. One sure way of communicating the message of local self-governance is by following it in one's own organization. While running a well-decentralized organization itself, Intercooperation SDC has promoted Joint Project Committee or JPC, where the partner NGOs, together with its representatives at ISNR-MPO, jointly take decision on the program management. NGOs have also been motivated to let the community-based organizations like self-help groups and village development committees to implement all the projects. Human and institutional development, or HID, is absolutely essential to ensure technical and leadership managerial competence among the staff of NGOs and community-based organizations, and ISNR-MPO has taken a proactive role in this area.
It's not at the project base, but it's across the organization based. It's being promoted. That's the great thing, where we were now able to stand with most professionalism and where we are able to reach the community effectively and we are able to work in a transparent way.
Several community-based trainers in technical aspects like animal health care, organic farming, PTD, as well as on social aspects like gender, local governance and PRIs have been promoted. HID is the ultimate tool of empowerment of NGOs and CBOs. One of the tasks is to develop relevant communication strategy for the illiterate community with diverse language background. A puppet show for enlightenment on PESA Act, drama skits on gender sensitization, educative posters with pictures to convey the message, etc., are some of the examples of educational materials. Thus, the community-based organizations will increasingly become responsible for their own welfare, shoulder the tasks of planning, budgeting for and implementing the needs of the community, building of institutions that are run by the tribal population, empowerment of women, and the change in the morale of the target population are all pointers for the future. It is a benign and happy intercooperation witnessing the independence and prosperity of the once deprived community in Odisha.
The current phase of program is a sharp departure from all the previous phases. Here we address discrimination and poverty through a people-oriented, people-initiated and people-managed program. There were many challenges in this new approach. We had to deal with the mindset, with the attitude of not only of our partner NGO but with the community. Another challenge we dealt with community was ensuring the community ownership, and in many cases community contribution was much more than our NRMPO contribution. We got many new learning in this program. If we talk about approach, we learned on devolution of fund to the community. We transferred fund directly to the community account and the community managed it successfully. We also went ahead with financial collaboration with PRIs, and the PRI members were able to mobilize resources from government, from other funding agencies based on our experiences.
Sahara